The Denver Broncos are the team nobody saw coming. While the spotlight stays glued on Kansas City chasing another title, or Cincinnati with Joe Burrow and Ja'Marr Chase, something far more dangerous is building quietly in Denver. Last season, they broke a drought that felt endless, reaching the playoffs for the first time since their Super Bowl run in 2015. That was not supposed to happen in what many called a rebuilding year. The Broncos flipped the script and now stand as the AFC's most overlooked threat. The shocking part is how quickly this turnaround happened. Sean Payton wasted no time ripping the old blueprint apart, moving on from Russell Wilson and betting the future on a quarterback who many doubted would even start right away. That gamble already paid off, with Denver finding an identity that mixes discipline, toughness, and just enough explosiveness to worry every contender. This roster looks nothing like the one that stumbled through losing seasons. It feels built for now, not later. And the scariest thing is, this story is just beginning. The Broncos have reshaped their offense with new weapons, a stronger line, and a quarterback stepping into his second year with the keys to the full playbook. That side of the ball is where the biggest leap could happen, and if it does, the AFC will have no choice but to take Denver seriously. Let's break down the firepower surrounding Bo Nix and why this offense might be the spark that lights up the entire conference. But before we get into that, hit that like and subscribe button for more Broncos and all the NFL content. Let's aim for 500 likes on this video. The Denver Broncos are not just counting on Bo Nix, they have surrounded him with weapons designed to flip games wide open. Courtland Sutton remains the centerpiece on the outside, finally getting the recognition and extension he has long deserved. But the real story is the youth movement behind him. Troy Franklin, drafted last year and already making noise in preseason, looks sharper, faster, and more confident in every route. Rookie wideout Pat Bryant is emerging as the reliable option over the middle, while Marvin Mims, entering his second season, continues to flash as the deep threat who can stretch any defense thin. Add Evan Engram, a proven receiving tight end who creates mismatches against linebackers and safeties, and suddenly Denver has a passing attack that feels layered instead of one-dimensional. The backfield brings another twist. J.K. Dobbins, still only 26, comes over after a productive year with the Chargers, and when healthy, he is one of the most explosive runners in football. Yet Sean Payton has no interest in leaning on one bell cow back. Instead, he has built his committee with rookie R.J. Harvey, who piled up over 1,500 rushing yards and 22 touchdowns at UCF, and younger pieces like Tyler Beatty and Jaleel McLaughlin. This constant rotation forces defenses to prepare for fresh legs, different running styles, and even pass-catching threats out of the backfield. No opponent can predict which runner will carry the load from week to week, and that unpredictability is exactly how Payton wants it. Protecting it all is an offensive line that has grown into one of Denver's biggest strengths. Garrett Bowles, fresh off a new deal, remains a steady force at left tackle, while Mike McGlinchey holds down the right side with veteran consistency. Inside, Quinn Miners has turned into a tone setter, with Ben Powers and Luke Wattenberg providing balance and toughness. This group struggled in spurts early last season, but finished the year playing like a top unit, cutting down sacks and giving Nix time to grow. If they carry that late-season form into September, Denver's offense will not just keep up with the AFC's best, it could outpunch them. And at the center of it all is Bo Nix, who is about to step into a role that could change everything. The Denver Broncos found a quarterback who does not blink. Bo Nix started like a first-year player, then week by week he turned tests into proof. By winter, he was driving throws with timing and touch, sliding in the pocket, and using his legs only when the read called for it. He closed with 29 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, plus 430 rushing yards, and 4 rushing touchdowns, and he did it without chasing chaos. The question now is, what happens when that calm meets a full season of control? He grew fast on hard downs and late downs, and he kept damage small with smart choices. He took only 24 sacks across the year while learning how to climb, reset, and throw on time. On Monday night against the Browns, he handled pressure with rhythm and quick answers, then showed he can change tempo at the line when the look shifts. Second-year passers often stall once defenses have tape, yet his base game is repeatable, accurate throws to short and middle windows with sudden shots outside the numbers. If that rhythm becomes weekly, Denver moves from feel-good story to real AFC problem. Now, the real test begins because Sean Payton is ready to widen the answers around him. Expect more pre-snap motion, cleaner matchups for Evan Engram in space, and defined reads that let Nix attack, reset, and attack again in the same drive. Up next is the plan behind that jump, how the design itself turns stress into easy yards, and why that could tilt close games in Denver's favor. Here is the twist that few are saying out loud. Sean Payton is building an offense that looks simple to the quarterback and brutal to the defense. Same looks set up different plays, and different looks set up the same core answers. What nobody is talking about is how Denver can change the picture without warning with tempo, stacks, and tight splits that hide who is coming or going. The result is a clean first read, a clean bailout if it is covered, and a safe throw that still threatens the sticks. The plan leans on 3 levers. First, free releases from bunch sets create traffic for defenders so receivers win at the snap and find grass on crossers and deep overs. Second, option routes for the slot and the tight end punish leverage, so if a linebacker sits inside, the route breaks away, and if the safety bails, the route turns underneath for easy yards. Third, layered shots arrive only after the defense squeezes down on the short game, with sail and dagger concepts pulling a safety one way while a post or a corner opens behind him. Protection ties it all together with quick rhythm, slide help, and pocket movement so the ball is out before hits turn into sacks. If this sounds like theory, it is not. The first hints already showed up in August with clean pockets, quick timing, and spacing that turned simple throws into long gains. Up next, we test the proof, drive by drive, and see who popped when the lights came on in preseason and why those signs point to real wins when the games count. August answered the question no one wanted to ask. Is this offense real or just talk? Jarrett Stidham lit up preseason snaps and showed the playbook works for more than one quarterback. Across limited action, he stacked 376 yards with 4 touchdowns and 0 interceptions, firing on time and controlling the pocket. It was not about hero throws. It was about clean timing, smart checks, and drives that looked ready for real games. The pass catchers turned that rhythm into points. Troy Franklin looked fearless with 2 touchdowns that showed trust and timing, while Pat Bryant kept chains moving with sharp cuts across the middle. Evan Engram shook a tackle on his first catch and reminded everyone why linebackers hate that matchup. RJ Harvey punched in his first score by planting and cutting inside instead of bouncing wide, a sign that coaching is already landing. The line took a big step from Game 1 to Game 2, holding blocks longer and giving clear lanes so the ball could come out without panic. If the offense felt steady, the other side sent an even louder warning. Depth players flew around, rushers won edges, and young defenders looked ready for bigger roles. The names will matter and the fits will matter even more, because this defense carries the identity of the whole team. Up next, we pull the curtain on that unit and show why Denver can squeeze the best offenses in the conference until mistakes appear. The Denver Broncos just turned defense into a fast trap for quarterbacks who think they have time. Vance Joseph is flooding offenses with disguise, tight press at the line, and a single high shell that springs late pressure. Last year, the unit landed at 7th in total defense and 3rd in rushing defense, and the style got even meaner with added speed and smarts across every level. One look says blitz, the snap says drop, and the throw lands in traffic where mistakes live. The back end sets the tone. Pat Surtain erases top options, Riley Moss brings steady work on the opposite side, and Jaquan McMillian closes windows inside. Rookie Jahdae Barron arrives with ball skills and nickel toughness, the kind of flexible piece Payton and Joseph love. Up front, the rush keeps coming in waves. Zach Allen and DJ Jones anchor inside while Jonathan Cooper and Nick Bonito hunt edges. Jonah Ellis flashes real juice as a young finisher, and linebacker Jordan Turner has forced his name into the rotation with clean blitz wins. Veterans like John Franklin Myers and Dre Greenlaw add playoff habits, and Brandon Jones brings range at free safety so corners can stay aggressive without fear. Here is why that matters now. The AFC West asks you to slow Patrick Mahomes and then survive Justin Herbert. And Denver finally has the corners and the rush to force long drives instead of quick fireworks. That turns December games into field position battles the Broncos can control. The AFC West is stacked with firepower, but Denver's edge comes from discipline, altitude, and situational football that can flip games with one long drive or one sudden takeaway. Beating Kansas City means forcing field goals, slowing the Chargers requires first down control, and handling the Raiders comes down to ball security and hidden yards. In a division that could be decided by a handful of snaps, the Broncos have the roster to survive those moments if their health and growth bets hold when it matters most. So now the question is yours. Where do you see the Broncos stacking up in the AFC West race? Can Bo Nix make the sophomore leap and carry this roster into the playoffs again? Which breakout player excites you more? Troy Franklin flashing as a rising wideout, Pat Bryant carving the middle, or Jonah Ellis exploding off the edge? Drop your thoughts below, because this team's path might just rewrite the entire picture of the conference.